Is it working? Come on. Oh boy, it's certainly been a while. Um, there we go. So, contrary to popular belief, I am not dead. Although I did have a few close runs with that. Actually one, but that's another story. Um, Today I am back with a live stream. As you can see on the screen, the game we're about to play is Avernum Escape from the Pit. A game made in or released in 2011 by Spiderweb Software. There is not much of an intro to speak of, at least not video-wise. It's just the Spiderweb logo showing for a few seconds, so you're not missing anything by being dumped straight into the main menu. Now, as far as I've gathered, and mind you, I haven't looked into it too far, this is a remake of the Avernum series that Spiderweb Software actually released some more years ago. I haven't played it, mind you. I've played this, I've quite liked it. You can see I've actually played a fair bit of it. But we're not going into any of that. We are going to start a brand new game in this. Let's just do that. Can I go back? Yes. Options-wise, there is not too much we can do. As you can see here. I'm hoping the stream is working out okay-ish. I've done some audio testing, it seems to be alright. Do let me know if there's something wrong. Okay. Yeah, we'll change those if we don't want any of those. Okay, the stream is just putting up a warning. I hope it's doing okay. Seems to be fine. So let's start a new game and dive right in. We are not going to do the character editor. Okay, so this is going to be our lovely group of people. Now I can change their appearance here to a few presets. Let's go with those. They're standards. We have 4 names, and I'm going to stick with those. Let's see, we can... I think I want some other picture for that. That's good. Okay, let's change the character type. Oh no, okay, that's... we'll go with the default one for that one. Okay, yeah. So this essentially changes your class, and that is really only your beginning skills. You're not really locked into a class as you were, or as you are in many other games. You can essentially create 4 completely different people. I can take a soldier template and essentially turn it into a mage. It would take a while, but I could. Let's see, I want this person to be... Okay, we want you to be a soldier. Although I would like to have something with more... Actually, no, that's fine. We'll take a soldier. We'll take a an archer. Why the hell not? We'll have a priest and a sorcerer. Although we could probably turn you into something else. So yeah, hedge wizards would essentially, for example, here gain a bit of everything. A shaman would also be good at throwing stuff, but we'll make a sorcerer. So we'll have one melee guy, or actually we'll turn those 2 into both melee and melee and ranged as we need it, and those two will be the magic backup. It's not the most fancy group, but it's what we get. You can't always choose your prisoners. I think we're gonna add with the story, so let's hit this, and we will go with the normal level because I don't feel like tormenting myself. And yeah, no, we'll go with normal because I just want to experience the story, which, as far as I've seen, is quite wonderful. Also, the stream says quality is poor. Well, thank you for rating me there, YouTube. Alright, now why did I pick this? Oh, you are never going to see sunlight again. You will never breathe fresh air, or be warm and dry, or feel safe. This is your punishment for your crimes. You are to be thrown into a magical portal and banished to Avernum, never to return. Your crime? Nothing as serious as you might think. Not murder, arson, or assault. No, your crime was against the Empire, ruled by the cruel Emperor Hawthorne. You spoke out against an unjust law, or you angered some minor officials, or you may just have been a misfit. So yes, we've been thrown into here in it's almost Bethesda fashion. We've been thrown into this pit. The Empire controls the entire surface of the world. All 4 continents have completely been submitted to its rule. Not fitting in is a crime in the Empire, so you are being exiled. You are being sent down to Avernum. Avernum is a series of caverns far below the surface of the world. It is a dark, subterranean prison, a place where exiles like you spend the rest of their lives, far from the light. What is it like there? Nobody on the surface knows. All they know is that it's dark and deadly. It is spoken of only in whispers and only with fear. Some believe that there is no air, warmth, or food, and death comes with merciful speed. Others believe that there is enough sustenance to enable Avernites to endure a miserable, worm-like existence, until, of course, the monsters get you. And a few believe that Avernum is a paradise, a land of freedom where one can at last be out from under the Empire's iron rule. People mad enough to believe Avernum is paradise soon end up there themselves. So maybe we will do just that. They don't really know what it is like. No one in the surface does. But soon you will. There is no appeal to the judge's decision, Early one morning, in a stone dome far out in the wastes, you are dragged in chains to the shimmering portal. You breathe clean, fresh air one last time. Your shackles are removed. Okay. Then they throw you in. Here we have a map. It is, in fact, accurate, and I love this style of map. Okay, welcome to Avernum. These caverns are a tutorial to help you get started. First you need to get to learn how to move. We'll click on a spot to walk there. Slowly your eyes adjust to the dim light. Happily there is light. The ceiling of the cavern is covered with scattered patches of a fungus that glows with a faint green luminescence. But you are alone. I'm not, I'm a group. It is cold, damp, and deathly still. All you hear are the echoes of dripping water in the shadows. That loneliness makes the feeling of claustrophobia more powerful. For a moment you can sense the countless tons of stone above you, ready to, at any moment, crush you into nothingness. You concentrate and overcome the growing terror. There must be someone down here. You'll just have to explore and find them. Alright. So we'll click there. We can scroll around. The game is not pretty, mind you, but so is 2020, so I figured this would be a very fitting game for such a year, when you actually just want to go down into a hole and presumably stay there far away from any kind of civilization, while also longing to be back in civilization. Much to your great relief, you finally find signs of human occupation. The gallery to the west is blocked by a wall, rough stone blocks held together by crumbling mortar. It looks like it has been here for years, abandoned and decaying, but it is something. Less reassuring is the pile of bones between you and the wall. They look like they came from a small humanoid, perhaps a goblin. They too have been here for a while. On the floor near them, someone discarded a crude cloak. Scraps of leather roughly stitched together. On the surface you would have ignored the disgusting thing. Down here, with the cold seeping into your bones, you decide that you would be better off wearing it. Alright, so, okay, I actually have played a bit into Avernum 2 a while ago, and in there items were essentially glowing when you were in range of them. But this is how you pick things up. If you stand near something, it will appear and you can pick it up. So we can take this cloak. They always have a description, or most things have. This one doesn't. Some areas of Avernum are very cold. Be sure to dress up snug and warm. Now this gives us 2% more armor, so it feels like it would be well suited on a melee character. We'll also drink, or we'll not drink this, but we'll put this into the quick slot bar, which as you can see is down here. By the way, this is... okay, we have another healing potion here, lovely. I'm not sure why they gave us that when they incarcerated us in here, but we have 4 healing potions. We may not use them on those 2 characters. Either way, that's the inventory for you. There is a class screen, and I have no idea if... oh wait, of course nobody's watching this, but I figured why the hell not. Okay, there is a class screen, we'll look at that quickly. So we all have experience. There are some lovely graphics here. It looks rather hand-drawn. Every character can learn everything, so even your mages can learn how to dual-wield swords if they want to. However, since you do have a limited amount of skill points, this might take away from their ability to cast magic. So, yeah, be aware of that. This is, of course, their main abilities, or in this case, the main ability of the priest, the ability to cast priest spells. Each spell has a requirement in terms of skills. So if we go priest spells, we can do those 4 spells. We can do smite, which is basically a magic attack. We can cast protection, which will give us a shield for 4 turns. This won't make us impervious to damage, mind you, but it will help a lot in difficult encounters. And we can also restore some health on a single ally and fix a non-mental status. There are quite a few statuses, I think statuses, which can afflict your party and which aren't fun. We also have mage spells, which will of course be cast by Cordelia here, who is our mage. She can call a beast, she can cast a bolt of fire, and she can cast the Cloak of Curses and the Daze. Right now we are going to cast the Cloak of Curses. The cloak is crude and... they're talking about the leather cloak. It's crude and dirty, but it is warm. You suspect that everything in the underworld is going to be crude and dirty, so you'd better start getting used to it. Now, the Cloak of Curses is essentially a buff we can get. It means that, yeah, level 1 gives us the chance of cursing any foe we strike with a melee attack. The higher the level you affect, the better the chance. Now, there are some more mechanics, and I think it is a very well thought out game in this regard. As I said, it's not pretty, but there is a lot to do and discover in it. And I absolutely love that. On this side of the door, at last, you can hear people. You smell fresh smoke and hear the muttering of speech. You're too far away to make out what they are saying, but they are to the west. Keep moving west. If you want to switch back to the faster movement side of the previous Avernum games, you can change this in the settings window. Okay, we'll not do that for now. Oh, there we go. These are some Nephilim. There are 3 people ahead, crouched around a dim, smoky fire of burning fungus. They are rolling dice, gambling over a handful of copper coins and leather garments they scavenged in these caves. Then their sharp ears detect you. They leap to their feet and spin to face you, drawing their blades. They are Nephilim, scrawny and hungry specimens, but dangerous nonetheless. Nephilim are a proud tribal race that once filled the wild plains of the surface. Then the Empire began to remove them, sending the few that surrendered into Avernum and killing the rest. This has left them with a vicious hatred of humanity. Even though you share a common enemy, they are still determined to take their revenge upon you. You are about to enter combat mode. Once battle has begun, click on an enemy to attack. Yes. Now this buff here lasts forever until we enter a town, which is why I cast it now. So we could also cast this in actual battle, but then we'd have to waste the turn of our sorceress. Now as soon as those people see us, like so, we enter combat mode, where we have limited motion. We also have battle disciplines, which I find to be kinda useless, at least the early ones. The later ones are pretty damn fine. Like this here is very powerful. This gives you 20 action points, which essentially means you can attack thrice. I think Aldous here is going to wait. Marion is going to face this way. Can you? Okay, you are waiting as well. I think we want to cast the protection cloak as well. Now this actually requires you to be reasonably close, so be aware of that. And I think, just to be on the really safe side, we are going to call a beast. Now we can't control the beast, but we now have it. Okay, I think we'll attack the Nephilim. Combat is fairly simple. Okay. Right, we, of course, in combat we only can cast spells that the currently active character can use. And I think your characters are essentially getting their turns in order of, well, in party order. And I think in that case it would actually make sense to move the or to move the priest down the peg, just so his turn is last and he gets to do his stuff last. However, let's follow the advice of the tutorial and attack something. We'll take out the weakest one. Okay, yes, warriors can use battle disciplines. Let's try that. What I found is, at least in Avernum 2, they kept missing most of the time. Okay, yeah, we could do a healing spell, but there is no point in doing so because, well, okay, I guess you are kinda injured. It felt like a waste. Okay, the 3 Nephilim have fallen. 3 senseless deaths. You suspect that they were just sent down here through the same portal you came through. Usually the Empire sends down the Nephilim through a different portal to a different part of these caves, but of course Empire soldiers don't really care what undesirable goes where. Of course it's also possible that the underworld is controlled by Nephilim and you will soon be swarmed and enslaved. Or worse. Okay. Yes, once every enemy is defeated we can end the battle mode and move back to this mode. Now if we go to inventory here, we can actually get some more leather armor. And since this does not encumber mages, they'll all wear it, we'll take that to sell it. The wooden shield we'll actually use on our soldiers. The mug can stay here. It is of no use to us. Also, hello viewer. Apparently somebody liked my stream. I'm very honored to see that. Especially because I haven't really uploaded anything in way too long, and I apologize for that. It's been a rough year. It's been a very rough year. Okay, I think it was possible to actually see my own stream on my phone. Ah, there we go, my videos. Then it should actually... It used to show my stream, now I can only watch my old Oblivion streams. Alright, fine, I'm not going to watch my own video here. I used to have my own video open, just in case. Either way, we are going to explore these caves. Let's go here. Now, Avernum is a game that does reward exploration. There's a chest over here. I kind of want whatever is in there. This creature we summoned here, this cave crawler, will be with us for a few turns, and there we go, it disappears. There is, as far as I know, no way to summon constant creatures. Also, I think you have to have at least one action point left to attack, so if you stand away far enough, you don't actually have to... you can't be attacked by... or in melee. And do we... actually, screw it. We probably won't need another person or another spell. I kind of want to hold off on casting too many spells because we are limited in terms of our abilities and in terms of our spell points. We really don't want to run out of those. There are a few ways to regenerate them. Okay, this poison here was actually the Cloak of Curses assisting us. So we'll attack you and you. Now, those first enemies are very easy to deal with. And yeah, this is the Cloak of Curses, which gives us a chance of striking them with some sort of affliction every time we attack them. Which, as you can see, can be quite useful. I should have attacked a weaker rat. Okay, we'll kill you, and we'll kill you. And I think we'll smite you. By the way, I could also use keyboard controls here. I could go with Mage Spell, then I could cast Firebolt on the enemy marked with A, like so. That is perfectly fine. There is something we can interact with here. We can get some crude leather gloves. We'll wear those. We can get a belt. We'll also take that. We won't need rocks, and we can take flaunt crystals. We'll put those on the mage. Now, those are just for sale, but we do want all the money we can get very soon. I can only move into the direction of this box. The cave to the north is divided by a deep pool of foul, stagnant water. There is a man standing on the other side of it, watching you, his sword drawn. Perhaps he can tell you how to get to safety, if there is anywhere safe down here. So there's a guy, a Lagran. You can also go where the rats came from. Oh, there is a pool of foul, stagnant water on this, dividing this cavern in half. On the other side of the morass is a human is staring at you. He has a dented, bronze short broadsword and a heavy leather jerkin. Your relief at seeing another human is not enough to keep you from noticing the coldness of his gaze, or how he seems to be sizing you up. He gives you a half bow and smirks. I, Lagran, welcome you to the underworld, and from the look of you, you are a warrior. Not the weaklings and malcontents we had coming through so far. So let's be friendly here. You're an Avernite. He laughs, a grim, raspy sound. I would not say that. I don't think that the Avernites are very fond of me right now. Okay, let's try to be peaceful. Greetings, I mean you no harm. He gives you a mocking little salute with his blade. Of course, none of you or other arrivals want to hurt me. But how, I wonder, do I feel about you? You're trapped in this basement with me, after all. What do you mean by that? He points at something hanging around his neck. It's a key. These caves are where all the new human arrivals are supposed to end up. Then the Avernites, noble beings that they are, find you and bring you out and help you. But then I stole this key. I came down here and locked the gates behind me. Now you all are stuck down here with me and my helpers. Okay, and why did you come back down here? For wealth and weapons. For first pick of the goods the Empire sends down from time to time, and of course for hostages. When we are ready, we will trade your lives for our escape, and we will seize our own part of these caves. He lets out a long, shrill laugh. Perhaps he's not entirely sane. Yeah, I'm not sure where we got that idea. And what do you think he'll get from me? Just intelligence. Now I know how many of you there are and how you are armed. Now my servants will be prepared. He gives you one more little bow, lets out a harsh laugh, and turns to leave. Oh, we'll just say nothing. He has nothing else to say to you. He disappears quickly into the shadows. Now something tells me he is sort of a boss enemy. Yeah, he moves away. We'll try to we'll try to explore this place a bit more. Now the first battles are very easy. I usually go with a mixture, or with a slightly different mixture of classes. And something I wanted to talk about here, let's attack the rat number C. Something I want to talk about here is healing. There are two ways of recovering. The first is first aid, which automatically occurs after a battle if we have the first aid skill, which is fairly useful. Can we look at that quickly? Yes, we can. It's in the miscellaneous. This is the first aid skill. It takes the entire group skill, and at your end of combat, this skill will restore some of your health and spell energy. The more opponents killed, the greater the effect, and the more of this present in your party, the better. So this is one way of healing essentially in the field as we go. Oh, there's another live rat. Did you die? Thank you. The second way is entering a friendly settlement. This will undo all these spells we've cast on ourselves. Ooh, a bronze short sword. Since we are kind of a swordsman, we'll take that. We also have a poor leather helmet. We'll take that as well. And a crude bow. Now there is no such thing as arrows here. We can have a melee and a ranged weapon. Limb. A remnant of one far more unfortunate than you. Now this game has its very own sense of humor. And I think it has a very nice mixture of kinda humorous bits and not being annoying with it. Which I believe is a hallmark of bloody good writing. If you can keep a light tone without going completely over the top and becoming annoying. Also, you can see the first aid here. Now that the battle is over, you apply first aid. Restores 1 health and 1 energy. So if we were to not use any spells, we could slowly but surely return to full health. Okay, someone has discarded some javelins on the floor ahead. It's always satisfying to fling a few projectiles ahead before engaging in melee. When you attack, you will use a default weapon. This can be a melee weapon like yada yada. Okay, where exactly did they drop those? Oh, there. So, since I think you had some range weapon skills, let's check that. Yes, you are good at thrown missiles. Well, not good, but you have that skill. It probably means I may still go and give him a the bow skill and make him essentially an archer. But for now, that's fine. Okay, there are some terrified arrivals. Let's talk to Brissa. The Avernuts built something down here, a crude stone structure that was then left to crumble. 4 people fresh from the surface are hiding in the ruins. They look like ordinary people, farmers and merchants who angered some empire lord or said the wrong thing when the wrong person was listening. Now they are trapped in the underworld for the rest of their lives, empty-handed and terrified. Only one of them seems to have kept her self-control. She is a young, stocky woman. She holds a crude spear in her trembling hands. "Who is there?" When she gets a look at you, she lowers the spear slightly. "You are not one of the thugs, are you?" "I'm Brissa. Are you trapped down here like us?" "Yeah, probably." How did you come to be here?" "The others?" She looks at the 3 cowering in the corner. "I don't know. They're barely able to talk. As for me, I suppose that I was disloyal to the Empire." "How we're disloyal?" She winces. "I refused to give one of their maids my favor. He decided to take his own petty revenge, and I would not speak of it further." "Will they be alright?" "Perhaps if we can get out of these caves and get them a moment's safety." "I have another question." "Do you need my help?" "I would not beg a stranger for aid, except that our situation is desperate. There is a cretin down here, his name is Legren, and he has a pack of brigands and thugs to help him. We can't escape his basement while he blocks the exit. I can't fight him off. I need your help. Can you give it?" "Yeah, I will free you from these caves." She nods and looks at the others. For the first time, they look up at you, emerging a tiny bit from the catatonia. "I thank you. I knew from the moment I saw you that you were a warrior with honor. We will wait here." She returns to standing guard and watching over the others. "Apparently we'll have a fight with brigands ahead." The people in the ruined buildings left 2 flasks of liquid on the table. Perhaps a gift for you, perhaps a bribe to mollify the thugs ahead. These potions might help you if you have to fight your way out. Okay, alright, there they are. As I said, the graphics are a bit iffy in my opinion. I will put those on our melee characters. Although, yes, technically we only have melee characters right now. But you get my point, I think. Also note those. There's this cracks on walls. I hope they show up on the on YouTube. There is actually a pre-spell, I think. At least there used to be. I believe there's a spell that actually makes those disappear. Or that can actually crumble those walls. There's also a mage spell. Yes, Dispel Barrier. We will find some magical barriers in the game, and there are also spell scrolls we can use. But this is, of course, the in the long run, probably way cheaper version. Okay, there is nothing more we can do here, because we haven't found a way to this yet. Okay, after your meeting with Legren, you aren't surprised to find these people waiting for you. 3 humans who have teamed up with 2 Nephilim. They smirk and raise their blades as you step into the dim light of their fire. As the reek of the burning fungus assaults your nose, one of them says, "Well, you knew this was coming. Legren let you know what was happening. I hope you're ready. At least you won't be in this pit much longer." I think we'll just attack. The thugs honestly thought they could hear you talk and plead. They weren't expecting someone who would actually fight back. Your charge catches them by surprise. So yeah, we'll just charge in. Battle mode, of course, has to start. Okay, we want to go in with our melee characters, so they actually are attacked first. We do want to buff, so I do want to have protection up. And we'll also, since we're outnumbered, want to even the odds a bit. We summoned a skeleton, lovely. We have no control over what is being summoned. Although I think skills or spells can be improved, at least. I don't know if it's in Avernum 2 only, onwards only. By the way, using rage weapons is fairly easy. You just select them and then hit them. Now, of course, they are limited in terms of charges. Let's cast a spell on Roland here. Lovely, he fell. The skeleton is tanking some hits, which is also fairly useful. It's precisely what we want to see. Now, by the way, if you want to give this game a try, I will, of course, as usual, put the link to purchase it on GOG in the description below. You can probably also get it on Steam, but honestly, why would you? Sometimes you will also have battles with allies on your side. Kind of rare though. Most things in this game are just trying to kill you. In those cases, I'm not sure if you gain experience, but if your summoned creatures killed something, it's as if you did the killing. Okay, I think all this is too far away, so we'll just switch the missile weapon and hit him like that. Lovely. Okay, and combat, and 1 health, 1 energy. If we stack this properly, we can actually go quite far in terms of healing. And we want to take everything that has a value. I think we could even sell twigs, but honestly, let's not bother with those. There is another cloak here. So that is going on our second character. We could also dual wield blades, but without the appropriate skill there is little point in doing that. Those are just twigs though, sadly. I would like to have another bow. You move cautiously down the corridor. You are past Legrand's thugs, but their leader is still ahead. And without his key, you doubt you will be able to escape this pit. This is a good time to save your game. It is indeed a good time to save your game, although, to be honest, any time is a good time to save your game. I will overwrite my own old save games, because screw it, I can. Look at that. There are pots here, clay pots, not worth anything. And I'm fairly certain we will enter combat mode very soon. You round the corner and come face to face with Legrand, a petty thug with delusions of grandeur. When he gets a good look at you, he realizes that perhaps his plan to build a new empire within Avernum is not going to work out. And yet he doesn't give in. He stands between you and the locked gate leading to the exit and snarls at you. You notice dark stains around his mouth. Perhaps he has eaten something recently that is tinkering with his brain. He points his blade at you. You got past my warriors, and what? They are dead? Well, I will get more. The Empire sends down more killers every day. Avernum won't take them, but I will. You notice that he is holding something in his offhand, but you can't tell what it is. Yeah, just surrender, mate. No, I still have the key. I can start again once you are dead. I won't let him throw me into the abyss. Come on, he charges you. His warriors, seeing no other option, regretfully follow him. Well, we gave him every chance he could have. And in fact, they have a cave wolf. Let's shoot him. He seems to have a crap load of health. We just want to stand here, I think. And since this is our first sort of boss encounter, we'll probably want to buff up. And of course we will want to have our trusty beast. This time we got a dire wolf. Nice. Okay, critical damage 2. This is going to get worse, mind you. Although Aldous is taking a fair beating. We want to switch back to the melee weapon. And just start hitting people. If I'm not mistaken... I know I am mistaken. We are not going to reach level 2 in this... after this battle, most likely. There are also quests and all that jazz. I think we'll just want to cast some spells on you. Now, you can cast spells on your own summoned minions. I'm not sure why you would, but you can. Okay, and since Lagran is kind of having a control zone, so you can see by those red tiles here, moving in an area that's essentially controlled by an enemy will, I think, double the movement cost. So you really can't go past someone who is pointing a blade at you. I don't want my priest to be in the middle of the battle. So we'll... Ooh, we could daze. There's no point though. I think it will affect on nearby enemies, so it makes more sense if your mage is actually surrounded by enemies. But we will use those spells all in their due time. Let's actually use a battle discipline. There's one more thing that we need to talk about here. A battle discipline will cause fatigue. You can see this character here, Aldous, now has fatigue 3. Each round you will shed some fatigue, depending on your, I think your skill in, that was a combat skill for that. I think it's hardiness? No. Here. Yeah, each level makes fatigue from battle disciplines fade 5% faster, so it's quick action. Skills you definitely want to have. Now, we'll talk about those skills at the first level up. But now let's just hit Lagran and try to get rid of him, because he seems to be the most powerful enemy. Although I think Cordelia could go and start taking out those guys as well. Yikes, that was a good hit. Okay, being ensnared means you can only move one tile. It didn't matter too much because we weren't pushed back too far, and even if we were pushed back further, we could have just switched back to the bow. So this was not a condition that was of much detriment to us right now. Had he pushed back, Lagran is wounded. He's bleeding and exhausted. No, you will not stop me. I have one thing I smuggled. He raises his left hand, and you can see that he's holding a glass globe. Goodbye, fool! Enjoy your new life in servitude. He smashes the globe against the floor. A cloud of lavender smoke spreads out, choking you, confusing you. Lagran turns and runs towards the gate, the key in his hand. So he has now terrified us. Now that is a condition that is kind of annoying. However, it didn't really help him because his pathfinding... Lovely. He didn't get far, so we can still take him out. And now he's also poisoned. Lovely. Okay, I think you were supposed to get further away. I'm not too sad it didn't happen. And I'm gonna say the game bugs out very, very rarely. At least as far as I know. As far as I've seen so far. It's pretty stable. Okay, we've killed Lagran. Lagran falls to the ground dead. You recover the key. In moments you have the key at the gate to the exit open. We probably don't, because there's still enemies to fight. There's still those thugs, and I'm not exactly sure what the what the war curse does. Weakness curse, I think, is fairly self-explanatory. Also running low on javelins. Now we are not likely to run out of javelins, mind you. Okay, that's the last of his thugs. We'll of course loot. Lovely, there's a second bow for us. We'll use that, we'll take the bar of iron and the bag of meal. We'll also take the crude broadsword. It would be better than my bronze short sword, which we will pass on, and we'll take those. Okay, the gold ring can be sold in stores. Lovely. Let's see what else we can get here. Oh, another pack of rats. How very annoying. Attack them. We'll also probably want to get back to Brissa and let her know that we sorted out everything. So can I go back? I want to see... Okay, yeah, we only got 1 health. So we definitely want to invest some points in first aid. We don't have to level them up here, or we don't have to cast any spells right now. Although I would have hoped that we can pull this off without losing any health. That would have been great, because it would have meant we would get back on track health-wise. But we still have a reasonable amount of spell points, so we are not in immediate danger. Okay, we can also eat, which I think is a good idea. So you get all the meat. Meat will give you a bit of health. It's better than nothing. It's another way to heal that I forgot about earlier. However, I think it's better in the early game when you don't have that much health to go around. Once your characters become quite tanky, it gets a bit annoying. Now, I don't know if we can do anything with those sheets of papyrus. That's a spell scroll. We can use those. And since radiating ice is more useful for someone who is surrounded by enemies, I didn't want to do that. I totally didn't want to do that. And we want those 2 bars of iron. If memory serves, there was actually a merchant willing to buy many things. I'm fairly certain there was one who buys the flour. So we can get rid of that. And who buys it for a very good price. Not the... actually close to the 40 that we've seen here. Now this is the next level. You emerge from the dark tunnels and your claustrophobia is immediately replaced with vertigo. You are in a fort within a gigantic cavern. The stone ceiling arcs hundreds of feet over your head. As your eyesight adjusts, you look around at the world of Avernum for the first time. You are inside what looks to be some sort of fort. It is made of huge blocks of stone, roughly mortared together. Wood must be rare down here. Only the doors are made of it. There are a few odd trees nearby, more fungus than wood. Then, when your eyes at this strange sight fades, you notice the warriors. They stand around the lip of the pit you are in, weapons drawn. Some of them have bows pointed at you, ready to fire. As you prepare to defend yourself, a man comes running toward the lip of the pit from the south. Stop! Stop, he shouts. Don't fire, let me talk. I also forgot I wanted to go back to Brenna, who actually... Stop that. I'm not sure if that counted as a quest, but you usually have a bit of a quest marker here. Barissa watches you closely. His spear is always in her hands. Yes, Lagran is gone. You can escape now. She is so relieved that for a moment you think she might break into tears. But then she starts nudging the others with a shoe. Come on, let's escape while we can. As they rise, she turns to you. I thank you. This has been a rough arrival, but perhaps things will improve. She thinks, but I doubt it. Then she turns to begins to escort the others towards the exit. Lovely. So we got some experience for that. Quests are a great way to gain some experience. Okay, we currently only have 1 quest. Our quest log will be quite full. Okay, now let's talk to Andrew. A small man runs toward you, waving his arms. His skin is incredibly pale in the strange light from the fungal ceiling. When he reaches you, he stops and bends over, hands on his knees, breathing heavily. When he regains his breath, he says, "Don't attack! I'm Andrew the Greeter. We are Avernites. We are here to welcome and help you. A fuck named Lagran attacked me down here. I killed him." Andrew looks embarrassed. "I'm very sorry about that. He took us by surprise, and we owe you a debt for killing him. It will be an honor to say what I have to say to you." "Yes?" As Andrew speaks, the guards nearby watch solemnly. Each of them went through the same ceremony, the beginning of a new life. Andrew says, "On behalf of Avernum, I welcome you to your new home here in the darkness. Our lot is hard, but we are free of the crushing hand of the Empire. We offer you peace and aid as long as you aid us in return. He smiles weakly. That is all. We have some aid for you, then you can go out and start your new life. You called yourself the greeter. It is my task. I wait for new arrivals such as yourselves and welcome them. He bows. Welcome to Avernum. Avernum, what does that word mean? In ancient times, Avernum was one of the names for the underworld. It was the place where souls were sent to be judged when their lives were over. Appropriate, yes? Tell me more about Avernum. Avernum is what we call this place. Countless miles of tunnels, caverns, and icy subterranean rivers. It is your new home, he smiles sadly. Why are you welcoming me? It is my job. I'm here to ease the considerable shock of being cast into the underworld, of course. So, welcome to the underworld. He pauses to think. Also, I'm here to say where you can get information about Avernum and supplies. You had me at supplies. How can you help me? We can provide two things for you here: supplies and information. Once you know where you can go and have a few coins to get yourself established, we send you on your way. I can get supplies? To prevent certain problems, new arrivals are sent to Tor to get modest supplies to support themselves until they find work. He's in the building to the south. We found doing otherwise results in desperate, dangerous, and violent new citizens. This way you'll have a fair chance. What you do with it when you leave here is your business. The information's always useful as well. Thal is the town sage. He lives and works in the building just a little bit to the southwest. He's a bit glum, but he does his job well. He will answer your questions as best he can. Of course, you should get supplies first. Can't I just stay here? That is a common question. I'm afraid not. This fort is small, and we already have all the defenders we need. The rest of Avernum needs you. Well, but they don't need me per se right now. Okay, can I return to the surface? A common question. No. I would abandon any hope of ever seeing the sun again. The sooner you give up on that, the sooner you can begin to make a new life here. Alright, I'll try to settle in. Andrew nods. I am pleased to hear it. Life here is hard, but it has its own rewards and moments of beauty. Help us, and we will help you. Do you need anything else? I don't think so, so we'll end this here. We have Andrew, we have some portal guards. And now we have some buildings. That is an empty one. There is a Avernite wandering around the streets of the fort, looking for new arrivals. He wears a jerkin of thick lizard hide, and a bow of black wood hangs from his shoulder. The moment he sees you, he almost rushes to greet you. Welcome to Avernum, he says. I'm Baron. You look newly arrived, and, if you don't mind me saying, a bit aimless. I have an opportunity for you. Who are you looking for? People like you, people with talents, skills with the blade or with magic. The sort of people who would help Avernum. Help Avernum to what? Baron looks grim. To survive. Our battles are, whether you like it or not, your battles. Your aid may be the thing that tilts the balance in the favor of every human in the underworld. And what is this opportunity you speak of? The opportunity to fight for Avernum, so that we can all survive, and in return you can gain what little renown and comfort is available in this dark place. Alright, tell me more then. He nods. A wise choice. You should go to Silvar, west of here, and meet the mayor. I have been sent to recruit people like you, and I think you will find work to your liking. That is all. I will leave you to regain your bearings. He nods and walks off, looking for other potential recruits. Alright. How much experience do we have? Not too much. There are also traits. We'll look at those later. Okay, what is this? Avernum Barracks. No name to build. You generally want to talk to everybody who has a name. It's kind of common. Visitors' chambers. So we could rest here, although we can't rest in there. Let me put this in here, so it's on the quick bar. I think we can put things onto the quick bar in battle as well. But as far as I know, I have not been able to use something from the inventory straight away. Okay, so there is Tor. There is a tall man sitting behind a counter, wearing bronze armor. Behind him is a large rack of crude stone and bronze weapons. He recognizes you as a new arrival in an instant. I don't recognize you, and I recognize everyone. You must be new. He rises and shakes your hand. You can see how desperately pale years down here have made him. I'm Tor. I'm here to give you some supplies before you go your own way. Okay, can I have some supplies? Tor nods, makes some notes on a scroll made of crude parchment, and hands you a pouch, some dried meat, and a loaf of unappealing, slightly grey bread. This is the starting allowance all new arrivals are given, to help them get established. We want you to become productive citizens of Avernum as soon as possible. Good luck to you. Where do you get those supplies you give out? Some are sent here by the army, others are sent by the Empire. Sometimes they give us weapons and food and other things. We find them in the arrival caves with the new exiles. And what do you do here? Well, sometimes I maintain the weapons of the guards, sometimes I guard travelers going to Silver, but I spend most of my time giving supplies to newcomers. Do weapons need lots of maintenance? He looks back at them with disdain. Pretty crude work, huh? Good metal is rare down here. Tools to work is rarer still. And enchanted items? Good luck finding those. Magical items? They can be found? Sometimes. They are made at the Tower of Magi. Also, when Avernum was first discovered, the Empire sent many explorers down here. A lot of them were killed, but their equipment remains. Such items are rare and valuable and precious, though. I wouldn't go hunting them. Better to live a peaceful life in one of the forts, I think. Well, I think that's all for now. Thank you. Lovely. So we got some... Okay, we could steal things. We don't want to steal things right now. We've talked to Andrew. Office of Fair. Let's talk to Fair. You see a slender, worried-looking man. Let me just drink something quickly. This is getting very talking intensive. I haven't talked that much in ages. Ah, much better. Much better. Wearing the robes of a mage. Somehow, despite the crude surroundings, he's impeccably dressed. He sits behind a desk laden with books and scrolls. When you enter, he lets out a world-raised sigh. Ah, another arrival. Another unfortunate. I am Thal, and I can give you information you can use to settle into life here. Alas, the news is all bad. You can tell me about Avernum? He grimaces. I am here to help you, even if the help causes great pain. Help me? Well, every day or so our benevolent overlords above hurl a few more souls into this hellish cesspit. Then they come to me and tell them just how bad things are here. He chuckles dryly. Normally I'd be cheery, but today I'm just not in the mood. Anyway, I'm here to give information. I have another question. I like this guy already. You want to know more? I will tell you what I can, but learning more about Avernum only leads to despair. Alright, where should I go then? I hear you can fight. Avernum needs that to delay the inevitable. There are 2 settlements near here. Tell me more. Dovno is to the north. It's a farming community ravaged by Nephilim raids. You'll have better luck at Silver to the west. It is the largest settlement nearby, and the mayor is always looking for warriors. I would go there first, I think, if I was a warrior, which, happily, I am not. I have another question. I like this guy. Tell me... Okay, that's all for now. Thank you, though. That was, Dunbar. You see a worn and scarred middle-aged man. He has the thin, washed-out look you already associate with many years in Avernum. You've only seen 5 people here. You hope your time here is kinder to you. He carries a potted plant and a shovel. He nods to you and sets down the pot for a moment. I'm Dunbar, he says. Welcome. What's your job? I'm the groundskeeper and gardener, and fix-it man. I like gardening best, but I do what they need. Tell me about the plants. Well, we've bred some pretty weird plants down here, all sorts of mushrooms for food and fodder. Those weird twisted trees give what little wood we can have. And so on. Mages make the plants, I grow them. You eat the mushrooms? Yes, and not much else. You'll get sick of them before too long, but they're food and that's what counts. How do trees grow down here? Amazing, aren't they? The roots dig into the rock and the leaves absorb moisture from the air. They get light from the fungus above. I can't figure out how the scrawny things stay alive, but they do. I've never heard of trees like these. That's because they were created down here by the wizards. They live in a tower to the south or something. All the wizards go there. They do all the standard weird stuff with demons and such, but they make plants too. Without them, we'd all be dead. I have another question. How long have you been down here? Hard to tell. It's hard to keep track of years without being able to see the sun. Sometimes they say what year it is, but I don't see why I should believe them. They can't see the sun any more than I can. But a long time. Oh yes, a long time. Building, fighting, tending to my garden. He looks down at the vicious scar on his arm. I like the gardening the best. Okay, I think we can get no more useful things out of him. Any other... Ooh, that's a sign. Ooh, surface goods storage. This is a storeroom where surface goods the Empire occasionally sends down through the portal are stored before they're distributed throughout Avernum. Understandably, goods from the surface are very valuable down here. They are indeed, and we're not going to steal any. We are not going to steal anything. Any other people we can talk to? Nobody in here. How about in here? Ooh, Janice. Do you have anything? You meet a middle-aged woman who seems to be in a big hurry. Like everyone else you've met, she is extremely pale. She's holding a crude clipboard. She nods to you. Greetings, I'm Janice. I don't come to me for supplies, I just count them. I don't give them out. What are you doing? I'm in charge of supplies for the fort. The soldiers, they do their own cooking, but I'm the one they come to for the food. And weapons, and clothes. It's tedious work, but it keeps me busy as long as Thale is stationed out here. Tell me about the soldiers, then. Oh yes, good lads and lasses everyone. Well, most everyone, anyway. Just between you and me, the best get sent to the front. The front. To the north, where all the Nephilim are, and to the west, to fight Slith Zerikai. Avernum's land of constant warfare. I doubt Andrew told you that when you arrived. No, he didn't want you to succumb to despair. Not right away, anyway. I have another question. Where do these supplies come from? The Empire. They send down things we need to survive from time to time. Livestock, food, or chemical supplies. They arrive in the caves below along with the people, and we send carts down to haul them out. Why does the Empire give us things? It is a mystery. Maybe a few officials on the surface have actual honor, and they don't want us to die. Or more likely, it is a reward for something Avernum does for them. What might that be? I don't know. Nobody tells me. She taps her fingernails nervously with the chipped... She taps her clipboard nervously with a chipped fingernail, eager to return to her work. That's all for now, thank you. Okay, those are just some guards. We will not... Ooh, Acacia. You meet a powerfully built woman. She wears chainmail with a sun insignia painted on the chest. It is faded and chipped, but still visible. Her reddish cheeks contrast strongly with the paleness of the rest of her skin. She sizes you up and nods slightly. Heard you've been fighting from the moment you got here. You don't just curl up and die, I approve. She shakes her hand. I'm Acacia. Are you a soldier here? Yes, I'm the guard captain for the barracks here at Fort Avernum. We've got a bunch of good men here, and when the Nephilim come for us, we'll give them a good run. We work best on defense. Why are the Nephilim attacking you? They were thrown down here by the Empire, just like us, and they've always hated humans. We haven't attacked anybody, we just want some caves to call our own. Not enough for our foes. Not good enough for our foes. They won't rest until every human is on their dinner plates. Well, tell me about the fort, then. It is one of the most important places in the whole underworld. For us, I mean, if the Nephilim take Fort Avernum, arriving humans fall into their hands, and then she draws a thumb across the neck and makes a charming noise. Well, lovely. I have another question. What's that design on your armor? You point out the insignia. It's a crude drawing of the sun. It's our symbol, the seal of Avernum. It reminds us of where we came from and where we hope to return to. Any advice on where I should go? Anywhere, wherever you go, there will be someone trying to take our land or find a tasty human to eat. Though most warriors who arrive here head west to Silver first. The mayor there has a soft spot for new arrivals. Of course, some people want to find a way to escape the underworld. Fools, if you ask me. We had one of them go through just a few weeks ago. Tell me more. Well, I met him. Someone tried to use one of those strange blue crystals to make a portal to the surface. It was a mad idea and it wouldn't work. We made a full leave before he gave any of the new exiles ideas. What was his name? Oh, I can't remember. He said he was heading up to Formello, though. They're welcome to him. People who trifle with unknown magic are dangerous to everyone around them. What strange blue crystals? When the first people arrived in Avernum, they found a few of those bizarre crystals. When you looked into them, they talked to you, spoke in your mind. Most of them are lost, but there are a few around if you look hard. Some of them even teach interesting things, when they don't drive you mad. Okay, do I have another question? No. Alrighty, thank you. That was very interesting. Okay, Warwick. You meet a young woman with long black hair. She is sitting at a table eating a bowl of thin lizard soup. Her skin has not yet attained the paleness of one who has spent a lot of time in Avernum. When you get close, her head jerks up. Once she has seen who you are, she returns to her soup, disappointed. Have a seat, fellow exile. I'm Warwick. Might as well regain your strength before we go out into the wilds. You seem like a recent arrival. Why were you sent down here? Why was she sent down here? She looks down at the table. I have already learned that this is a rude question to ask. People are sent to Avernum because their secrets are revealed. Once here, they want them to become secrets again. She turns away. Alright, just move that over. Okay. Moo. There we have cave cows. Lovely. I believe, let me just check that. Okay, this is a locked door. This too, difficulty 2. This, I think, is just the sum of lockpicking skill needed in your party to open that door. Now we can go west, past the cows. And once we do that, you step out of Avernum and get your first good look at your new home. You are at the east end of an enormous cave, many miles across. In the dim green light, you can look out through the mist and see a huge forest of the strange fungal trees. A dark river flows by to the south, and to the west, you can dimly make out the lights of a town. Although you're far on the ground, it's not as quiet and peaceful as you thought it would be. Sounds echo well in this cavern. You can dimly make out the hisses of lizards, flowing water, and unnervingly the growls of distant humanoids. Your journey into Avernum is about to begin. Lovely. So, now we're in the overworld map, which is, well, underworld map, which is not much prettier than the other map, mind you, but it's what we get. In here we can encounter various things and people. And much like any other place, this is a very good place to save the game. We'll save on here. And we'll call this live stream 1. Okay, there are many places of interest, like if we go close to this house, nothing comes. If we go close to this campfire here, you see in the middle of this grove of twisted trees a huge group of gremlins. These strange manic creatures are rare on the surface. They are very cheery, but sometimes very volatile and dangerous. Strangely, this group don't seem happy at all. In fact, they seem downright suicidal. They lie around on their backs, shaking their heads and occasionally sobbing. Let's talk to them. You carefully step forward. Some of them approach and sniff you. They seem to be smelling for something. Soon they decided you're completely uninteresting. Then they rush forward and unceremoniously kick you out of their grove. When you look back, you see that they've returned to their apathetic, mournful state. You must not have had anything that cheers them up. So yeah, we can go here later. Most things that walk around here will also trigger an encounter. So if we run into them, we'll usually end up with some sort of event. Sometimes that is a battle, because of course it could be a hostile group of monsters. But in many cases, at least around the civilized areas, we will just encounter soldiers looking or patrolling the area. So as long as we don't attack them, they won't attack us. And as you see here, we have regained all of our magicka, or of our spell energy. You enter one of Avernum's cities. Well, they would call it a city. By Empire standards, it's a miserable collection of crumbling stone hovels, perched on the shore of a black, icy river. The dim green glow of the luminescent moss above gives everything an eerie look. As you enter, one of the guards mutters, "Welcome to Silver, newcomer. Strangers are welcome here. If they watch themselves, they wave you by." Okay, so this is Silver, the first city, settlement, whatever you want to call it. Okay, there is Anastasia's armor. We'll go in here. And behind the counter there's a middle-aged woman wearing a thick leather jerkin. A pair of suits of armor are displayed behind her. On the surface they would have been thrown into the trash. Down here they're almost priceless. She nods to you. "A customer? Then welcome to you. I am Anastasia and this is my shop. We buy and sell here." "What do you sell at the shop?" "I sell armor. You can buy some here if you have the coins, or you can sell some if you don't." "Do you think that I need armor?" "You'll need it if you plan to travel around down here. Don't count on getting any iron or steel armor though. Damn expensive, hard to make down here. Leather's cheap though, bronze is okay, and magic, forget it. Ephraim makes all of the armor we sell." "Who's Ephraim?" "My husband. He makes the weapons in the smithy next door. Ask him about Demon Slayer." She chuckles. "Do you have magic items down here?" "A few. The mages down here, such as they are, have a really tough time making magic armor. Potions and scrolls, sure, but armor, almost never. It's kind of weird that they wouldn't find iron here. I mean, this is a huge cave, and as far as most other games go, that's where most of the valuable ores live. Anyway, I would like to sell something. We would like to sell, we'll keep the dried meat, but we'll sell this dagger and this junk. We'll also sell this gold ring. And we'll sell those crystals. All of them. We'll keep the papyrus. And I'd like to see the wares here. So we could get chainmail armor, but it's slightly expensive. It's quite expensive. We will get some decent armor. We'll actually get most of the stuff we're going to be using, as it is fantasy game fashion. We will get most of it from the things we kill. So, yeah, that's fine. All of this is not really worth it though. I mean, we have enough cloaks and we're good. The Hall of Training, ignorance cured for a reasonable fee. Okay, Eric. You see a big scarred man. The reddish lines on his face stand out starkly against his fishy white skin. He is watching two young Avernite warriors practice dummies with cave-wood swords. He turns to you when you approach. You have the look of the warrior about you. "I'm Eric. They call me Three Scars. I can train you if you have the coin." "If you don't mind my asking, how did you get those scars?" "The first, I encountered some bandits while wandering the areas around Silver. Be wary if you travel to the north. Bandits set traps for those of you, such as you." "And the second?" One of the spears of the Slith is a Rikai. There are many of them in the Eastern Gallery, not far west from here. Don't go west unless you're ready for a fight." "And the third?" "Nosy, aren't you? I earned the third fighting an Empire soldier that was stealing from my village. Didn't kill him. If I had, I'd be dead. Instead, they sent me down here." "Alright, so, what do you do here?" "I train people. Then, when they go out into the caves, they end up torn up like me." "How do I train?" "Come in here, I'll work you over in our battle pit. You'll be in much better shape after a few rounds with me." "And what sorts of things can you teach me?" "Well, I can make you faster on your feet. Down in Avernum, the slow are the dead. Interested? So with enough money, we can improve our skills in the training halls. You can only improve each skill that way twice." Sounds interesting. I'd like to learn something. As you can see, he is expensive, and he is well beyond our price range. He won't be forever, but right now he is just way too expensive for us. But yeah, this is one way to essentially get some bonus skills. Okay, we've talked to Ephraim. I'm sorry, my mouse is still doing something weird. It sometimes double clicks for no reason. Your wife told me that I should ask you about Demon Slayer. He grins wildly and points at the sword on the west wall. That is Demon Slayer. It is an impressive iron greatsword. Well, I haven't really slain any demons with it. It is the best sword in these parts, but it's not a genuine article. What do you mean? Where's the real sword, then? Well, I don't know too much about it, but once a bunch of adventurers and soldiers came through from the Empire. They were called the First Expedition. The First Expedition. Aye, they got killed off to a man and a woman. And one of them, someone told me once, had this amazing demon-slaying sword. That was a while ago. Asked me if this was Demon Slayer. I told him it was. He got real angry, called me a liar, and I suppose I was. Of course, then again, he may just have been jealous of my sword. Guys are like that. I have another question. Oops, I had another question then. Are you in charge here? Yes. What weapons does he have? He has bows. I kinda want bows. One big advantage of a bow over something like, say, a bunch of javelins is that the bow doesn't have ammo. With javelins, we run out of them constantly. If we could get a bow, that would alleviate at least our ammo needs. So we'll give you... But you have a bow. We'll give you the bow. Now the spellcasters, at least early on, will not use that many spells. Something else we have here, there is a small peculiar park in the middle of this town. Several of the Avernum trees, half wood, half fungus, surround a small pond. They are neither lily pads nor ducks. There is, however, a lot of lichen, how do you pronounce that? And tiny lizards frolic about. Strange, here's someone humming nearby, but the sound doesn't seem to be coming from any of the townsfolk. Okay. Anything we can... Ooh, a living statue. You look close at the statue. It's cleaner than the others, and a much nicer piece of craftsmanship to boot. Then it winks at you. Hey, you're a living statue, what are you doing down here? I just stand here, watch, listen. It starts humming gently, unconcerned about your presence. Okay. So, what I was talking about today was this here is the jobber board. There is a cave wood board at the south of this path, hanging from two posts. Several sheets of papyrus have been tacked to it. This must be a job board. People in need of assistance can post set appeals for help. Now those are quests which usually go... I think that there's a bunch of them, and if you've done one, the next one will show up until they're out of quests. There's a few, and we're going to do all of them. So, Ephraim the Smith wants picks and shovels. So, he wants 3 picks and 3 shovels. We'll take that quest. To whoever reads this, I have learned that there may be scrolls in the band that keep northwest of Fort Dovno. Such papers contain magical knowledge, something very rare in the underworld. If these papers exist and are brought to me, I will reward my helper with powerful paperwork of my own devising. Apparently Walner of Fort Dovno. Those are great ways to earn some experience and some additional coin, which, as you have seen, is fairly useful. Okay, message for Dovno. I'm Jay, a warrior fresh from the service. I wish to fight under Captain Johnson of Fort Dovno, but he refuses to speak with me. If any can speak to him on my behalf, I would be grateful. I can be found in the inn in Silver. Please tell him that he can find me there. We'll take that. I've been losing carts of rations and ale to swarms of bats. They must be quite hammered by now. They come from somewhere northeast of Fort Dovno. I'm sick of it. I'll pay a bounty in coin and steel to the first adventurer who can track these pests to the land and slay 10 of them. The bounty can be collected from Gary the Innkeep in Silver. Lovely. So now we have some quests. So we can read up on everything we did here. I believe if we close that, close that here. Um, if we open the map, we're actually given some quest destinations. Now those are fairly accurate. So we are in Silva, where we are supposed to meet the mayor. And all those side quests are essentially just put on the map. And yeah, we get... You usually can see where you're supposed to go, but it's not... you'll have to explore around this area a bit. So just keep that in mind. This marker here shows where we are. This is basically the group marker. We are right now in silver, so it's accurate. And there's a bunch of things. So this is, I think, most of the map. And there is a lot. Like, this game is chock full of content. And I think that's a good thing. Like, I believe that the developers kind of said, okay, screw graphics, screw that. Let's make like a game system, a game engine that works, and then stuff it with content. And they did that. I think that's lovely. Anyway, let's talk to Mayor Jonathan. A young man in nice, well-cut robes shuffles papers behind a desk. Let me just drink something again. Water. A fine cloth sash, only somewhat threadbare, crosses his chest. A gold amulet hangs from around his neck. He seems pleased to see you. The new arrival, I see. Glad that you have made it to see me. I am Jonathan, Mayor of Silver, one of the 6 proud cities of Avernum. I would very much like to speak with you. You knew that I was coming? Oh yes, when someone with promise for the defense of Avernum comes down through the portal, word gets sent ahead immediately. I would be happy to speak with you then. Your courtesy does you credit. This is a harsh land, but not entirely uncivilized. I simply wanted to ask, you are here, it is done. It cannot be undone. What are your plans from here? I guess I'm a warrior, I want to fight. I'm pleased to hear it. Avernum is always under threat from Nephilim and Slith Zerikai. I wish we were just under siege by something easy to pronounce. We need brave souls to fight to defend us. Before you go, in fact, I can provide you with some employment, a way to use your skills in this harsh land. I'm interested. I'm glad to hear it. Have a seat. We can discuss our humble settlement and what I'm trying to do to improve it. Okay, tell me about that job then. Silva is digging out a sewer. The excavation is taking place under our feet. Alas, this work has been stalled as the tunnels below us have been infested with worms. Big ones. If you can go below and find how the creatures are entering the tunnels under my city, I will present you with both a reward and some valuable advice. Okay, how can I enter the sewers? There are 2 entries, in the northwest and northeast corners of the cities. The northwest entrance will place you closer to the infestation. Why would you build a sewer? For exactly the same reasons anyone anywhere ever built a sewer, and in these caves it is much harder for waste to rot away. It is an urgent issue, otherwise things get very disgusting. We'll not ask him to give us the reward now. That seems kinda dumb. And we really need lockpicking. I believe also that lockpicking doors will give you a little bit of experience, and every bit helps. Especially early on, we want as much XP as possible, which is why we're taking every single quest. Later on, we can like push some quests back and wait for things to be more favorable for us. But right now, we want every single bit of experience. Okay, Carol, the strangely familiar smell of baking fills the air in here. It smells like bread, and yet it's off somehow. There is a pale woman behind the counter. She has the jitters. She says, I'm Carol. We have bread for sale if you want. You make bread in Avernum? Yes, with mushroom flour. It doesn't work. Not really. I mean, it's food, but oh, how I miss the surface. What do you make here? Well, you can buy bread and other food, and I have some cows. How do you like raising cows? Well, I tried to take care of the poor dears. I'd love to sell some milk, she chuckles, but for no apparent reason. But when I'm out with them, I hear noises. Noises, you say? Yes, out behind my shop, clunking and stuff. Makes me nervous. That much is obvious. By the way, how did you get cows down here? Sometimes the Empire is merciful and sends a few cows through the portal at Fort Avernum. Most of them die down here. A few have adapted, though. They're pale and sickly, but they survive on fungus. They're a good source of milk and meat. I suppose you have to make do with what you can. True enough, most of the times they will just eat giant lizards, even though the fungus the cows eat makes their milk and meat disgusting. They're still a luxury compared to lizard meat. Okay, we could buy some food, but let's not. She gave us kind of a quest. We can check behind her store. There's Krantz. Krantz will, I think, yeah, he sells boats. You meet a burly man. He's wearing a belt covered with tools. His skin is incredibly pale, almost translucent. His workshop is well equipped to work the strange fungal wood it grows down here. Some of it has been worked into a small boat, which is almost complete. The man notices you looking at it. I'm Krantz, and that is a boat. I build them. Oh, what do you build here? Well, he just said that. A lot of things, but mainly boats. There's a big call for them in these caves. You can get one for not much gold. He shakes his head. I hope you do. The slips have been hell for my business. Anyway, if you want to purchase one, say so. They're on sale for 350 gold. We could afford that. Where do the sliths live? There's droves of them to the west, on the other side of that huge lake, and they pretty much own it. People don't fish here anymore. Too risky. Of course, people also need boats to get to the Great Cave to the south. We didn't have any sliths on the surface. Oh no, the slith Zerkai, as far as I know, only live down here. Not all of them are evil. I hear there's a settlement of them in the Great Cave that get along with humans. Most of them, though, crave our flesh. They can swim for a long time underwater. We, on the other hand, need boats like mine to get around. Only 350 gold, if I haven't mentioned. We don't need a boat right now. Mind you, we will buy a boat eventually. They're very useful. There are places you can only get to by boat, and some places you can, for example, I believe in here as well, you can access kind of back entrances, or easy entrances. Like if you have a fortress and the front entrance you can walk to is heavily guarded, you can sometimes take a boat around and get to the back entrance, which is a lot easier to access. Either way. Gruber's weapons are out of business, which is a shame. What's in here? My sword is for sale. There is J. Ah, that's J. Okay, yeah, we got his message. This is a young, well-built man sitting and drinking ale. He is weighed down with 2 heavy leather bags and a broadsword. He motions for you to join him. I am J. It is good to meet a fellow warrior down here, though now I'm just a pitiful refugee. Are you a warrior? Yes, and a refugee. A refugee? Does that mean you're looking for work? Well, yes, in fact, I've always wanted to travel and see the world. I'm pretty strong from farm work, and I've hunted all my life. I'm really good with all sorts of missile weapons. Would you like to join me? I could use another adventurer. Oh, I'm not an adventurer. I could be a soldier as long as I know where my next meal's coming from. Sorry, no offense. You make some more small talk with him and go on your way. Yeah, he doesn't want to work with us. We are stuck with this group. Let's talk to Gary. The barkeep busily polishes the counter. He is tall and sports a very ambitious beard. He greets you when you walk up the bar. I'm Gary, he says, and this is my inn. You have to look of a new arrival about you. You can buy a round of mushroom ale if you like. I don't want to hear any complaining. So, what do you have on tap now? Any jobs that we could do? As a matter of fact, yes. I'm very interested in finding a natural hot spring. If so, I could profitably expand my innkeeping operation. If you find a nice spring, let me know. I will pay you well. Where would I find such a thing? If I knew, I wouldn't have offered you money to find it now, would I? But I'd look in the Eastern Gallery. There must be something like that nearby. Okay, thank you. So, yes, we are looking for hot springs. Lovely. Anyone in those doors? Let's not empty that out. Now, I believe... Let's try and look behind that... Actually, you see what I meant there? We'll actually have a... We'll buy the boat right now. Yes, if you don't mind me asking, why is everyone's skin so pale? He laughs and looks at the back of his hand. The lacework of red and blue veins can be seen clearly underneath the skin. If you were born down here, far from the sun, you would look like this too. Give it time. Soon you'll be pale enough. I actually wanted to buy a boat. Okay, excellent. Help yourself to one of the boats in the docks outside. I want... I think you can only have one particular boat. I believe it's this one. There's a corpse down here. We'll land the boat and we'll click on it. You see shapes ahead, lurking in the ever-present shadows. You try to back away unnoticed, but they smell you. They're goblin spies. The goblins were a common pest on the surface until the Empire started to wipe them out. Most of them were killed, but a large number of them were dumped into Avernum. Once here they bred like mad. Now they're your problem. Okay, so we have to fight some goblins. Lovely. Oh great, you can't reach a target. Well, good thing we got bows. I actually wanted to do this one. Yeah, you just use your last javelin. We really don't want this goblin shaman to survive. I need a beast. Ow. Yeah, hit that zombie. That's fine. Great. The first is dead. You don't have any missile weapons anymore. Yeah, protect everybody. And you... Yeah, just hit him. Okay, I would like you to move here. Moving would have been enough. Okay, so this... We want to check what they had. We got some mushrooms. Mushrooms will, like any food, will help you restore some health. Do we want to give this short sword to anyone? Yes. I believe there's not much of a difference between a dagger and a short sword in here. Like, they're mechanically both swords. So, yeah. What I tend to do is give everybody his own, like, kind of food. Like, Warwick gets the dried meat, you have the actual meat, you have the mushrooms. So we'll give the bread to the sorceress. Now everybody is somewhat equipped with a food item. And since we're going to sell that, we'll give that to the sorceress as well. Ooh, we get some pants. Not even the Slivzerikai, wise as they are, have discovered the joy to be found in a truly well-tailored pair of pants. Lovely. We can also get a spear and a woven silver chain. Now this is a magic item, so we are going to wear that. We don't need a robe. Do we need boots? Yes, we do need boots. Okay, now I'm really tempted to use the spear. Now spears don't give you more range, like you will. It's still a melee weapon, but since they're two-handed, they actually deal a fair amount of damage. Well, this one doesn't. I know there are some pole weapons that will actually help you. They have a chance to go past one enemy, to attack two enemies in one go, which is kind of lovely. We can also leave the city by boat. I don't want to do that for now, though. But yeah, this is our boat now. It will stay here, and we can actually use it. Let's not for now, though. I would really like to get our first level up. And I wonder... Since we fought in the city, we'll just go out and in to heal. And then what I would recommend is reapplying the constant buffs you want to use. Let's see if the baking lady will give us something. I killed some goblins behind your store. Thank you. Oh, damn. Yeah, I think we missed something there. Stupid mouse. So my guess is she gave us... No, she didn't give us anything. Sometimes it's also worth to explore the edges of the map. Like, we'll try not to cross into that bluish area, because that would make us leave the map. But for now, we sometimes find... or you can sometimes find goodies in there. Sometimes there's also enemies. Okay, we are back on the map. Let's see. Let's actually get to Fort Dovno. And let's also save the game. We really want to save livestream 1. Yes, we want to write over that. Okay, there are some cows. These are cave cows. And there is Fort Dovno, where we will get healed again. I'm not sure if the sound, this little guitar jingle is basically the sound of you enter a peaceful village. Entering Fort Dovno heals your wounds and restores your spell energy. Okay, those doors are locked. Is there any open door here? Yes, there is. Lovely. There's a soldier here. There's Alice. Okay, stop gawking, she snaps. I'm Alice and this is my inn. We have drinks and supplies. Sometimes we have rooms, that's all. Any gossip from travelers? Okay, that was totally not worth it. A very friendly person. We have Caius here, who seems strangely orange. Well, pink. You see a small, worried man in long robes. They show the wear and lichen stains that come from heavy travel. A holy symbol hangs prominently from his neck. He invites you to sit with him. I am Caius, a speaker of the holy chants. Come and join me. I don't mind some company as I take a rest from my journey. Tell me about your holy symbol. He holds it up. You see it is a tiny die, forged of silver. I am one of the speakers of holy chants, and yet I am no missionary. Can you tell me what you worship? Nothing and everything. Everything is vast, and only those who strive and risk all can prevail. He looks embarrassed. As I said, I'm no missionary. You can learn more of our faith in one of our temples. There is one in Formello. I'd like to learn more holy rituals. Then travel north of Formello if you would expand your magical knowledge. There's much to be learned here. Okay, why are you traveling? I bring word to the flock. I once did so in Formello, but now I'm moving to safer ground. Why would you leave Formello? I was assistant priest there, but the raids got too much for me. I worked for Mother Claudette, a good, fine woman. Plus she had the ear of the mayor. If you're ever there, mention my name to her. She'll help you to get settled. As for me, I'm off. Alright, what can you tell me about Formello? It is a city to the north. They've had troubles, though not as bad as down here. The worst thing that's happened so far is that some Nephilim spy stole the mayor's necklace. He laughs. Sounds trivial, I know, but it's supposed to have powerful magic. Still, the attacks were starting to increase. I'm glad that I left. And where are you going? I'm going to the Great Cave, where things are calmer. He looks worried for a moment. Oh, so I hear. What's the Great Cave? You really don't know much about Avernum, do you? It's far to the south and then west. It's the largest cavern in Avernum. It contains a number of cities and forts and a castle, the capital of Avernum. You should try to see it if you ever get the chance. Alright, that's all for now. Thank you. There's Jake. You meet a farmer named Jake. He spends his leisure time here in the inn, playing chess against all comers and making friendly wagers on the outcome. A few minutes of observation reveals that he's a fearsome opponent. Not wanting to lose any money, you quietly move on. I'm not sure if we can defeat him later on. As I said, I have played this for quite a while, but I don't remember everything anymore. Now we're supposed to talk to a Captain Johnson. Remembering what you saw on the job board in Silver, you tell Captain Johnson of Jay's plight. He nods. I could use another blade. I have a scout going to Silver soon. I will send word to this young warrior. He tips you a handful of silver coins for your trouble. And we should also have gained some experience, which we got around 50-ish coins, so that's good. And we're close to leveling up. Okay, let's go with farming supplies. A tall, peculiar-looking man dressed in leather sits by the counter. He has long hair and a broad smile, and cold, calculating eyes. "Hello," he says in a soft voice. "I'm Jason. I sell supplies." Can you be more specific about your trade? "No," he thinks. "I only sell supplies for farming." He makes little air quotes with his fingers when he says the word. "If you want to do some trading, I can show you what I have. Otherwise, please leave." "Alright, I would like to buy some farming supplies." What the hell is he farming? Okay, so Jason's equipment seems to be more suited for a brigand or adventurer than a farmer. Some of his supplies seem quite useful. He's slightly expensive. We'll not buy anything from him, though. There is nothing I desperately want in here. JR. A small, slender woman sits behind the counter, working on fletching an arrow. Years in the underworld cave have made her skin white to the point of translucence. She holds up the arrow, inspects it, nods her approval, and sets it aside. Then she looks up at you. "Welcome to my workshop. You can call me JR. I offer fine tools for puncturing one's foes from a safe distance." Do you know one way to learn about archery? I have been known to share my secrets, but only to ones of adequate prestige to be worth my time. Okay, what kinds of missiles do you make here? I make and sell archery supplies and javelins. Let me know if you want to purchase something. My stock is kind of low. Most everything I make has been going to the soldiers. Where have they been fighting? To the north, goblins and Nephilim. To the west, brigands, and the rest lives as a Rikai raiding party. The Empire sent us to a violent and dangerous land. This seems to be a very violent area. Oh, it is. Sometimes I wish that my business was not so healthy. I want to buy some missiles. Now, she has a crude bow, which costs less than the last one we got. We'll eventually go with cavewood bows. But for now, this is the best we can get. And I think it is... yeah, we could steal that. I believe the guards will attack us if we steal stuff, so let's just not. They want shovels and pickaxes, right? Okay, Walnut the Sage, no question too trivial. Hello, Walnut. The man behind the counter is very short and heavy-set. He wears mage's robes, not crisp and clean, but ratty, as if he'd been travelling recently. The air in here has a thick, medicinal scent. There is some alchemical equipment sitting on the counter. The man sees it, you notice it. Difficult to find supplies down here, but I manage. I'm Walnut the Sage. Welcome to my shop. You look like you do a lot of travelling. I try to be a sage, but I've been seeing a lot of action lately. He looks down at his robes apologetically. I also need to find my own supplies. What sorts of supplies? Mold and fungi. I use them to make my potions. Any of the sort you find you can bring to me. I've been trying to find a source for mandrake and grey mold, but I've had no luck. They're terribly rare. Okay, what sort of action were you in? Captain Johnson enlisted me to help out against the foe. I was on a raid against the bandit fort up the hill to the west. It was a mess, but we fared much better than the group that attacked the Nephilim to the north. None of them returned. He looks at you hopefully. You know, if you want to help, you can speak with the captain. Okay, what can a sage do? Well, my specialty is alchemy. If you have foraged any lichen or moss or fungi with the proper properties, you can show them to me. If they are fresh enough, I can make something for you. For example, if you brought me healing herbs in adequate quantities, I could make you healing or curing potions. Even better, with the right mix of herbs, I could make a special brew to speed you up in combat or restore your magical energy. Very useful and much in demand. I don't need any potions, thank you though. So this is the alchemy system, which essentially you don't do any alchemy. The alchemy is done for you by professionals. I guess this is the safest approach. I mean, if I remember Might and Magic correctly, you could do your own alchemy, but it was a good way to blow your entire party to smithereens, to the point where only a magical artifact could restore them. So, yeah, probably not the best. Alrighty, let's talk to Scott. Are they biting? They are, catching plenty of the pale, slimy little monsters. And what do you do when you aren't fishing? Not much. He used to be a farmer. What sort of odd jobs did you do? Foraging, cutting down the cave wood and shaping it into boards, burning trash and waste, same amount of work to get done down here as up on the surface. Why would you stop farming? He speaks loudly for the first time in anger. Those cat bastards, they burned my farm. They wanted the land, so they took it. Johnson sent other groups to attack their new fort, but they have never been heard from, so I'm stuck here. Okay, so we'll let him go back to fishing. Somewhere over here, there should be someone buying iron or flour. I'm fairly certain there was a bakery and there was one place that bought iron bars, which is why I'm holding on to those. The man in front of you is huge, leather-clad, and grimy. He holds a very large hammer. The heat from his forge leaves his face flushed, and the red stands out dramatically against his pale skin. He looks over your weaponry. Warrior, I see. I'm Grimmet. I sell blades. Best you can find in the Eastern Gallery. Okay, the best weapons in the Eastern Gallery, you say? Aye. You have to go a long march to find better. And if I wanted better, where would I head? Down south to the Great Cave and west, Darman is where the best still is worked. I'm not ashamed to admit it, I'll know it. I have another question. I'd like to buy a weapon. We could buy a javelin. In fact, this would be 6 javelins. It's slightly expensive, and we really don't want to do it. I mean, we technically have some skill with ranged weapons, but honestly, there's no point in it. Okay, what's this? Authorized soldiers. Only we are not authorized soldiers yet. Okay, any other quests we can do here? Okay. So, one thing is we can't cast spells in the world map. So I try to remember doing it here. Okay, we can go and slay these silver sewer worms. I forgot about those. Let's actually do that. That's Fort Avernum. Okay, they set in the northern part of the city. So somewhere around here should be a trap door of some sort. There we go. Anything we can take. You enter the tunnels under silver. Workers have been toiling to burrow towards the water to the south, providing a much-needed channel for the waste and trash of the people above to escape. None of the workers are visible, though. The tunnels have been abandoned. They're eerily quiet. You notice a small pool of green, viscous slime on the floor. It's unpleasantly fresh. Okay, and since we do need 3 pickaxes and some silly hats, okay, you can have the hat. So we found one pickaxe. I'm sure they won't miss it. Okay, there's some giant rats. We'll attack those first. Actually, yeah, one person with a sword would be enough to keep them back. That's 36 experience, that's not bad. There's an awful lot of doors down here. Just saying. And this is essentially how we could have restored spell energy. Okay, let's get the Cloak of Curses going. Ooh, what do we have here? A belt. You can wear a belt. Oh. And we'll have both of you in melee here. Now we'll get better at archery at some point. Oh nice, we made it lose a turn. Ooh, there's a frothing rat. We don't want to have to fight everything at once. Okay, I would like you to do this. And I think, just to be on the safe side, we do want to call a beast. We only got a bat, that's not the best, but at least it took that hit for us. I kind of want to stay away from that rat. And since it seems to be quite tanky, we'll probably want to also attack it with everything we got. Yep, there's another one. Okay, we need 2 people to fight this. And we'll try to get you to hit... Ooh, that hit quite hard. You can't do that. That's a shame. Let's smite the rat. Didn't really do too much more than the bow. But we're getting this rat down. Which is good. I'll try to get some more debuffs on it. So we'll keep hitting it in ranged in melee as much as possible. If we hit it, that is. Now mind you, those are not guaranteed either. Like, as far as I've seen, the battle skills have a very high chance of missing as well. So it's terrified. That actually helped us out greatly. Okay, we have a fine cloak. We'll use that for you. And then just pass things on. Ooh, return life. That is very useful. If a character goes down, which can and will happen. Looks like did we see an enemy here? He will be restored to life, of course, as soon as you enter the city. There is also a spell you can learn if your priest is very, very good. Has a very high skill level requirement. And we leveled up, finally. Okay, I'm not sure why it told us that, but now we leveled up. We can always assign 1 point in here. So we will get more dexterity, I think. And then we can pick 2 skills we want to improve. Now we can only improve each skill 1 time per level up. And since this guy is going to be using melee weapons quite a lot, and I do think I want to go with a classic warrior build here, so we'll go with sword and shield. I want to put 1 point in this, and I want to put 1 point in... I'm going to forego all the magical disciplines, but we do want first aid and tool use. So we go with that, and then we get a perk. Those have certain requirements. For example, here must be level 5, and it also helps to have level 18 and so on. Okay, now those are utility skills. They're kind of useful as well, and I'm tempted to grab that just to get our tool use to a decent level. However, improved strength and endurance would also be helpful. Or backstabbing. We'll go with something else for now. Why would you ever attack someone from the front where they can see you when the back is so much easier? Now, if you have 2 warriors and both have backstab, you can essentially have both count as backstabbing, which is lovely. Okay, we'll improve endurance. We need to become tankier. Okay, you want to get some strength. And I'm not sure if that's here as well, or if that's only in Avernum 2, but you also gain a random stat increase every time you level up as well. Okay, we want to... by the way, I can only improve this as far as I can improve the level above it. I can only get this to level 2 and this to level 1 right now, or those to level 1 right now. And I can't... I can learn this because this is based on this. If there is a path going from a skill I have to a skill I want, then I can learn it. But I couldn't learn, for example, this. I can only go as high as the skill below it. So I can learn this, which is quite useful. It gives you a small chance of firing off an extra shot. And I want to be better with the bow. And in this case, it will also help me to have sure aim, which gives me more missile damage. Lovely. Okay, for you, I would like to go with dexterity. I want you to learn how to use bows, and you are going to learn magical efficiency. And we'll give you the energy blessing, which gives us more spell energy. Right now, we never run out of spell energy, but we will soon enough. Okay, you will learn more of this, and I would also like you to pick up some of this. You can learn improved intelligence, actually. Yeah, why not? There is no point in giving this person healing focus because we are not going to get any healing spells. At least not in the foreseeable future. There would have been a 4th bow. So glad we got that now. We'll give you a shield. If memory serves... we'll not give you a shield. If memory serves, mages will be encumbered by that. I'm going to put the curing potion onto the person that may need it. This here is a mushroom corner. Is a healing herb. Healing herbs are good for making potions, as the thing suggested. Who's our mushroom man? You. Those can be sold. We'll sell them then. anything down here? No. We also can't take the boat down here. At least I think we can't. The hell is that? Oh, a travel pylon. Okay, so yes, there is a quick travel system. We can't access it yet. Okay. I was hoping we could kill another worm. Because poor Aldous here could be in trouble. Now you can also use healing to... Or you can also use level up to heal. I think it gets you at least full spell energy. Even though it may not always give you full health. So, yeah. Now you know. And now we got 0 health and 1 energy back. Lovely. It may take a while until we are good enough with that. Some javelins and some useless junk. Lovely. Okay, how did the worms get in here? Yikes. That's not quite the character we wanted to take that in melee. But since we're ready for that, we'll just go ranged. Alrighty, hit you, and you. I think the cave crawler is more dangerous. And now we got this, and we can't do anything with the snipe skill, which is triggered, because you can't move after your first attack. So in this case, we're a bit unlucky to have killed that enemy. I think I want a beast. Just to be on the safe side, I want the beast. And since we're better with melee weapons... Oh, we got that again. Lovely. Kill this. Great. We would not have needed the beast. Ooh, crystal. I think we could also use the junk bag for that. But I'm never sure what happens to things in the junk bag. Let's go here. I'm hoping we can find another shovel and or pickaxe. That looks like a shovel to me. And a pick. Great. We want both of those, and we want you to get this cloak. Great. I really hope they won't miss any of that. Or that. We'll take the gloves, because why the hell not? We'll give you that helmet. You want people to be as well armored as possible. We'll also, yes, we'll take those lanterns. There is one point when you definitely need a lantern. Because there is one dungeon that's very, very, very dark. And I kind of want a stack of lanterns for that. Ooh, why did we get cleave? Like, we just attacked 2 enemies and I don't know why that was. It might be the weapon having that skill. I know there is a halberd that gives you that ability. So cleaving means you attack 2 enemies. Very useful to have, as you can no doubt imagine. We'll attack in melee. You should probably heal Aldous, lovely. And you hopefully take out that crawler. Yes, nice. They really hurt. Good, that worked. We've poisoned the cave worm. I'm not sure if that's something we wanted to achieve. That's the kill. Lovely. I'm trying not to get my spellcasters too far into the danger zone, if you will. Let's get a rope. If adventure games told me anything, you always want to have some rope. The hell are you? A lithe humanoid figure steps out of the shadows. He moves to the center of the crude magical circle he etched into the floor. You realize that he is a Nephil, and judging from the many tokens, trinkets, and bits of bones he's wearing, he's a shaman. Rar, he purrs. The humans send a warrior to challenge me. Well, you have found Droknar, the Spirit Tail clan. You have found your death, Rar. Actually, I was just trying to find out where the worms come from. Droknar favors you with a fanged grin. His tail twitches gleefully from side to side. You have found the source. They are called with my magic and filled with furious lust for human blood. Soon I will create a swarm of worms. They will emerge and drive the humans from this place, and the split-tailed clan will claim great victory. Swarm isn't a technical term for group that forms a bed. You know I'm a smart ass, I have to ask this. Ah, yes, you can also call a group of worms a clue. However, neither of those words carries the right level of menace. Good point. No human would tremble at the thought of being devoured by a bed of monsters. Rar. He does have a point, and this is the writing I just love. Okay, you can breed them. I can. It is a gift that is covered in the underworld. It is disgusting, and my fur is never properly clean. Also, the smell. But I will withstand all for the greater glory of this split-tail clan. Okay, I don't want to have to kill you. Leave this place or die. Droknar shakes his head. Retreat? Flee? Submit to humans? Never. You will feed my swarm and they will grow strong. Gra! Droknar begins to hum a low chant. You hear the hissing of worms coming behind you. This shaman must have the power to call them. That's one mystery solved. Okay, since shamans do tend to summon creatures, we want to take this guy out as quick as humanly possible. We also want to be protected. Yes, it hit the mage as well. And we do want to have a creature on our side. We have a cave slime. That's not the best creature to get. But we want to... Okay, go ranged. We don't want to stand too close together. And we do want to have our backs free. So, yikes, why does it get 2 attacks? Why does that guy get 2 attacks as well? Okay, now Radiate Ice won't do us any good. Because skeletons are immune to ice. They really don't care about ice. You'll have to attack this in melee. Not precisely impressive, but it's what we can get. Okay, he boosted that. This may have been quite a waste of a turn. We'll want to leave him dizzy. Nice, that worked out. Can we? We can't get the flawless shot. So there's that. Ah, crud, I wanted to heal my warrior. Okay, now we have two things hitting him. And he keeps summoning creatures, which is his good right, I guess. Ooh, snipe triggered, so we can hit twice. And since we're standing quite central, we can just do that. We want to heal character 1. You can use the numpad to target either of your characters. You can also use it in travel mode to select one of them. Although in most cases it really doesn't make much of a difference. Now if we cast a spell of daze... Oh, we can pick the area, lovely. It should only affect our enemies. And there's another one of those crawlers. Droknar stares down at his wounds with disbelief, then he lets out a long howl. Come, Ra, come, my foul children. Come and aid your protector, and feed. So yeah, that's something that tends to happen in boss battles here. That they just give them more enemies to work with, or just something happens. Okay, we want to get rid of the zombie. We don't get experience for killing summoned creatures, mind you. Oh, there's a lot of them. There is a lot of them. Would you stop that? Like, seriously. Okay, we need to take them out. And you need to heal. You can also click them. But I found this is a bit safer in most occasions. Also, I think there are times when you really level up quick. Like, this could be one of those times. Let's see. I mean, we already got a fair bit into level 2. So there's that, and especially when you just sort out a lot of quests and you get to it, you level up really quick, and you can get quite a few skills built up very fast. Now, do we want to... I think we want to focus on Droknar first. By the way, I don't think there's such a thing as a attack of opportunity here. So he can stand next to us and cast spells, which I think is mildly annoying. But it's all we get. Okay, you probably want to defend yourself. You probably want to defend yourself a bit better than that. And to be on the safe side, we will try to also kill Droknar quite fast. Ooh, the priest will have to heal himself. That's not a good sign. There we go, Droknar's down. That is very fortunate. Now this worm would actually disappear eventually. But I'm not going to wait that long. We will take it out, just to be rid of it and then not have it poison us. We could kill that, or we could poison it. But bear in mind, every time we have to cure something is essentially a time we can't do anything else. And essentially, it's just... wasted turn, if you will. Okay, please kill this. Okay, we'll move you back. And just have you shoot thing. You should be able to hit that from here, yes. Okay, the cave crawlers are coming very close, too close for comfort. But we should be able to take them on. I keep forgetting to check Aldous' weapon, because I'm still not sure where that cleaving comes from. And yeah, try to be somewhat frugal with your spell energy. Like, you don't have to blast everything with a spell. Just quickly check your weapon. Ah, okay, it has 10% chance to cleave. By the way, that's only foe near target, so it doesn't mean you have to be next to it. It could have also attacked this foe, I think. It doesn't have to be near you. Okay, please heal yourself. Oh boy, that is weaker than expected. So either our priest is a lot tankier than I thought. No, we don't want to skip the turn. Or we really don't want to do that. Yeah, note that we actually just burned through half our action points just for moving one tile away from that. No, we don't want to do that just yet. We don't want to take away fish for now. There's no point in doing that. Okay, that is a lot better. Now our spellcasters are reasonably safe again. So we can go back to attacking. I'm actually quite happy they summoned a bunch of reasonably easy creatures. Because that way we can gain a bit of experience fairly safely. I may have been a bit too close, yes. Okay, all this, hit it, lovely. I believe there was a second one here somewhere. Did it heal back up? Okay, we got 2 health here this time. So, good on us. Anything else here? A slime-stained tunic. I'm not sure how to dress properly with that. Do we want that? Yes we do. So we can sell this armor. We'll take those. We'll give those to Cordelia. I think we give that to her as well. Now the alchemical equipment you can't use. It's just there, you could sell it, but you can't use it. We'll take the gold. We don't want this tunic. We want that proper helmet. Well, proper-ish helmet. It doesn't. It does have some disadvantages because it will drop our chance to hit. But it's still good to have that. Okay, we don't need more cloaks. Ah, so that opened this. Are those bags open? They're not. I believe it wasn't for Mellow that there was a bakery. Okay, we'll take that with you. Yeah, I believe in Formella we have a bakery that takes all the flour bags. Okay, let's go back to the mayor and tell him that we've sorted out his problem. We will omit that we have actually... they want shovels and picks, so we will omit that we took some of the workers' gear. But we have fixed that problem, so that's good. We also can return to the inn and tell Jay that we've talked to the captain for him. Here. Warrior, refugee. Ugh. Okay, no, we can't sort that quest out. That's a shame. And there is no new job yet. I believe the jobs refresh at some point, but there's still only a limited amount of them. Okay, your worm infestation was caused by a Nephil named Drognar. He's dead. How very interesting. Our feline foes are becoming more ingenious in finding ways to assault us. And as promised, here's a reward. He removes the silver ring from his hand and presents it to you. It is enchanted. Also, as promised, I have advice. You said advice to give me. Two pieces. First, you should show that there is an enchanted pylon. You should know that there is an enchanted pylon in the tunnels below us. Second, if you wish a true use for your skills, you should travel to the castle far to the southwest in the Great Cave. To enter that fortress, however, you need a crown token. And how would I get one of those? You find a mayor who has one to present, and you earn it. It is how you prove you can be trusted to spend time with our king. Alas, I do not have one to give, but the mayor of Formello to the north does. You should go north and speak with her. If the rumors I heard are true, she has a task that may be worth your effort. But how about the pilot, then? Certain trusted individuals are given the ability to reduce the magic of these pilots to travel quickly through Avernum. You can learn more about them in the Tower of Magi, to the south. Our pylon is in the tunnel network below, in the northeast corner. I will make sure that the doors are unlocked for you. Tell me about the castle. King Mikar wisely rules Avernum from there. If you truly wish to do good fighting for our newfound homeland, that is where you should go. Great, so that's sorted out. Alright. And I think with that, we can actually end the stream. I'm getting fairly tired, so that's one reason. I'm not sure when the next stream will be. I'll try to aim for Saturdays again. I'm fairly busy under the week, sadly. And there is no chance, unless I have a day off, to get that done. Because right now I'm working about 70 kilometers away from Dresden. So I have a massive commuting time every day, and I just can't do a live stream after work. I usually just fall into bed and that's it. So there's no live stream after work for me right now, sadly. However, I will be able to, well, I hope I can get back into live streaming at least once a week. So there's that. Yeah, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. I certainly enjoyed playing this. And we'll see if I can pull this off. Now, one thing I wanted to say about the Oblivion stream, I had fun with that as well. One reason why I didn't do that today, even though I had time, was first because I haven't touched Oblivion in over a year, and second because by the time I stopped the live streams, Bethesda had done some pretty stupid and shoddy things with their franchises. Mostly the Fallout 76 franchise, which I haven't played, but I was not sure if it would be a good idea to promote their games. Just out of principle. So aside of that, a lot of bad things happened in that year and in that time. So yeah, things took a very sharp dip, and I just didn't feel like doing anything. So sorry to anyone who missed me. I'm now pretty much back-ish. Hopefully, we'll see. There's also still the Discord, which I didn't put in the description, but there is the Discord. You can pick that in any other video I released. Grab the Discord. You can always hit me up there if you really want to talk to me for whatever reason. Although I may be unable to reply for a while if I'm at work. Please keep that in mind. I have to do the things I'm paid for first. However, a quick side note of that, quick update from my end. I am now working in chemical plant engineering, which is not my dream job, but it's something that pays the bills. And ironically, something that back when I studied, people were saying I would never use. Like, I'm working with process and instrumentation diagrams, or PIDs in short. And when I studied, we had this in one lecture or two lectures, where we had external professors and speakers who would say something along the lines of, okay, this is a PID. Now you've seen one, you're never going to use that again, or never going to need that again. And ironically, this is what pays my bills now. So thank you everybody who said I would never need that again. I guess that's a lesson we can take away from this. If somebody tells you, yeah, you're never going to need this again, you may end up needing it again. Either way, thank you for watching. Of course, I have the OBS counting thing right above the view account, so I have no idea how many people are watching, if any. At least nobody has written anything into the chat, as far as I can tell, so hooray. That being said, yeah, I think it's time to save the game. We'll overwrite livestream 1, we'll overwrite all the other games at some point as well, because I do intend to experience this game again. Yeah, you've seen the map. Like, this is a lot. This is a lot of content. This map doesn't tell you everything. You go back and forth and you explore places, and then there's a lot to do in Avernum. So, yeah, there's a lot to look forward to. I hope I can do this game justice. As I said, it's not the most pretty of games, but they do make up for it in content, essentially. Which I think is one of the best ways to make up for bad graphics. Anyway, that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed this, and I look forward to seeing you again in the next stream, which I may even announce back on the Discord if I don't forget about it. That's a big if. So until then, bye.